Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the 78th episode of Chinet, the agentic commerce podcast exploring how brands are building in an AI world. I'm your host, Rachit Magan, and we've had some podcasts on supplements, but still, I feel supplements are one of the few categories where people spend a lot, people hope a lot, and still they mostly remain very confused. The labels look smart, the branding looks premium, the claims sound scientific, but the average person still really does not know what do they need. If they go to a doctor, then they're suggested a couple of things. If they go to a dietitian, they're suggested a couple of others. So, but primarily, it's very hard to understand that what does your body need, what are you having, and how does it impact your life. So today we'll get down to the truth inside the bottle. So joining me would be Akshita Singla. She's the founder of Akya Wellness. So let's call her to the stage and let's decipher supplements.
Hi,
Hi Akshita.
Rajat.
Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. So glad to be a part of this conversation today.
Same here. I'm very happy that you're giving us the time and to all our viewers. So, Akshita, let's we will get down to our topic of today. But before that, would love to understand a bit about your journey.
Hmm.
Um, what made this problem personal enough that you decided to build a company around it?
Very, very deep question. um, so first things first, I never really envisioned myself being in a nutraceutical space. It was never something I saw myself doing. But universe has its mysterious ways, right? And here I am. So it's a very, very difficult question for me to answer because I can't really pinpoint that one moment where I was like, okay, I want to build in that space, and I feel like the
Right.
industry chose me first, and I chose it second.
Wow,
So
it's like Harry Potter, right? Like the your wall chooses you.
exactly, exactly. So basically, I come from a pharmaceutical family. Okay, I've always grown up around the conversation of medicines. I think nutraceutical as a concept is very new in India. So it's, I would say, 7, 8 years now that it has become such a prominent part of our lives in India. But before pre-COVID, it was never a thing. But maybe multivitamins, maybe protein, but this was the main sort of names that you would hear in the Nutra space, right?
Right.
But I think for me, I personally experienced supplements firsthand when I was living abroad. So I was working in Luxembourg for a bit, and so if anyone who knows European weather, winters are really harsh there. So
Right.
you Luxembourg ka weather is very weird in the way that barely sees sun for 4 to 5 months at a stretch. Okay, from I would say end of October until mid February or end of February, there's almost no sunny days. So I was already warned that okay, winters get harsh and I should start taking vitamin D or magnesium to sort of help with the deficiency. I never took it seriously, and before that, I'd never had supplements. Okay, I was of that notion ki if I'm eating healthy enough, I don't really need to take them, and that still stands true to a certain extent. But obviously, like I think at one point I had very, very bad brain fog. Like I could not really focus at work after 3 or 4. I would feel very fatigued very soon. So I started
Mhm.
taking vitamin D and magnesium at that point, and I genuinely saw that difference. And then fast forward, I came back to India a couple of months later. My mom was really sick. So she was taking a lot of supplement, not a lot of supplement, but she's a very healthy person. Okay, she's very health conscious. She works out regularly. She takes her all her diet, food very regularly, very
Right.
consistently, and that's when I first sort of saw the products that she was consuming, and I saw that while the brand that she was taking it from is a premium brand, it's priced really. at a premium, on a premium scale,
Right.
but the product did not really stand the quality that it says they deliver. And I immediately asked her to stop taking those supplements. I sort of looked for alternative options, good, better quality options. I feel like there has been a boost in the supplement industry in India,
Right.
but because we are a price sensitive market, it gets very difficult for a brand uh, which wants to sell a good quality product to price it at the Indian
Hmm.
the at the price where the Indian market would generally accept, or maybe we were willing to try a product, right? So I think at that time, this is like 3 years back, when this happened. So 3 years back, there were very small number of such brands where you could actually see that they are good quality, they have that transparency, they are building clean products. So I sort of filtered out some brands, filtered out some products that she should start taking. And yeah, I think that was sort of my first interaction with the supplement market firsthand as a consumer. Before that, I'd always known as a manufacturing side
Right.
of things, right? And then I was figuring out my next step after my stint in Luxembourg ended. And because we are in this space, I sort of saw that this industry has a potential, has a wide space, and I started to explore how could I build something that would be different, that
Hmm.
is not there in the market currently. And that's, I think, where I start. So basically, first thing that we sort of established with Akya was that we wanted to build a product, build a products that would sit at the intersection of Ayurvedic and herbal side and modern bio active side. So that was
Right.
our first ideology, and that's where we saw we could really add value. Like, why not create a product which has the best efficacy possible, no matter if it's through bioactives, if it's through herbal ingredients, and
Mm-hmm.
if it could be a combination of both, right?
So for
That
our
was our,
audience, first, can you
yeah.
tell us the difference between a bioactive and a herbal ingredient? How are those two different?
Absolutely. So bioactives would generally be something that's grown in a lab. So, like in skincare, we use niacinamide, right? Niacinamide, retinol. Those are bioactives. And then Ayurvedic products would be something that we have that would come from roots, plants, or
Right.
any Ayurvedic herb that we have sort of, जो हमारी नानी दादी have, sort of
Correct.
told us about. So haldi
Haldi and
is
yeah.
Ayurvedic.
Hmm.
Ashwagandha is Ayurvedic
Correct.
or herbal sort of supplement. So yeah. Um, Sorry, where was I? So
Yeah.
basically
So
that
you
was our
moved further.
first
Okay. Let's
idea.
let's
Huh.
combine. Let's figure out within bioactives and Ayurvedic.
Yeah, like, why not sort of combine both worlds and build the best possible product, best
Right.
possible solution for a whatever problem statement we have. If we have sleep cup issue, so why not create something with L-theanine or melatonin
Hmm.
plus turmeric and chamomile.
Right.
That was the idea. And then we dig more deep into the process, and we sort of, obviously that still stands true, but we were like, but why do we want to stick to one ideology?
Hmm.
Why don't we try to bring the best possible solution, no matter what it is,
Right.
for a problem statement? So we become a one stop solution, कि अगर आक्या कोई प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट के लिए प्रोडक्ट बना रहा है, सो दे हैव सॉर्ट ऑफ फिगर्ड आउट कि इसके लिए तो सिर्फ ये बायो एक्टिव वर्क कर सकता है, इस
Hmm.
लाइक फॉर पीसीओएस देयर इज अ नोन सॉर्ट ऑफ clinically proven supplement, myoinositol decairoinositol. So it's a clinically validated product. So why don't we give that? Why do we want to add more to it, right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
sort of to find that best possible solution, make it as clean as possible, and be honest about what we are selling and why we are selling it.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's Akya.
Very interesting, very interesting. And yeah, you're right. Like there are so from the conversation, I've got two major points.
Hmm.
That one is the product, and one
Hmm.
is the honesty, right? Or let's say the
Yeah.
trust.
Hmm.
So what do you think you're solving for first? Are you solving for the product, or let's say when you started, was product the problem, or was honesty the problem in the market?
I think honesty is the problem in the market, but we started with the product first, right? So being honest is easy, but selling honesty is difficult.
Hmm.
Like we can say we are an honest brand, but how do I make the consumer believe that,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So that is where the challenge is. It's very easy to say that we are a clean brand, and honestly, clean also is something that could have different definitions.
Correct.
Okay, like okay, one thing, very interesting nuance. Okay, a product, a brand could say it has no sugar,
Hmm.
but no sugar does not mean that it does not have any sweetener in it,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So what sweetener does that product have?
Hmm.
They could say no sugar, but it could have sucralose in it,
Hmm.
which is not sugar, but it is an artificial sweetener.
Right.
And it's just, again, it's a marketing gimmick, right? You
Right.
have to, you can play with words.
Hmm.
A product could say no artificial sweetener and it could have sugar on the
Hmm.
label.
Hmm.
So I think those are the nuances that you as a brand have to figure out, how to make the customer understand कि आप clean कैसे हो.
Hmm.
तो
Right.
yeah, so product first was very important in the terms कि we wanted to find the right product for the problem statement that we were selling that product for.
Right.
कि अगर हम PCOS का solution, we are listing it on our website, we want to be sure that that product will work.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's how we are product first, and then second is how to be honest and how to sort of make the which we are still trying to figure out. Okay, we are still a new brand, we are still trying to figure out the communication on
Right.
how different brands are sort of selling their products and how we need to take a stand about what is right and what we are doing right.
Right.
So that is the second thing that we are trying to
Hmm.
solve for.
Right. First is of course the product, and then comes the communication. That how do
Yeah,
you convey to the users. But I think communication itself is a problem in the industry, right? Because there are bigger brands who are who are, as you said, it says there are products which say that no artificial sweeteners. It doesn't have any artificial sweetener, but it might have sugar, right? So it spoils the whole
exactly.
narrative. Um, the the whole category itself, right, is, I
Hmm.
feel it's very confusing, right?
Hmm.
It's there is no there's, of course, it's a very fragmented market. There are a lot of brands which are now trying to slowly change the whole thing. There are the bigger brands who are now, we don't know what are they doing, right? You have your Himalayas and your Organic Indias. They're doing everything. They're doing, but yeah, like they're doing body washes and they're doing supplements, right? Why do you think the category is getting so confusing, right? There's no clear, not even, I would not say a market leader, but there's no clear path to it, right? For a
Hmm.
consumer. Like, so
Right.
let's say I have a problem and I want a supplement. There's a lot of information, a lot of misinformation. Why do you think that's
Hmm. Like you said, there are so many brands. Everyone is trying to sell something.
there? Hmm.
I think the difference between the Indian market and, let's say, US or European market is, in
Right.
India, it's very easy to start
Hmm.
selling, right?
Hmm.
So when you're selling, there's always going to be information. There's always going to be advertisement. There's always going to be something, right, from the brands they have to sell.
Right.
But in the West, it's not as easy to start selling.
Hmm.
So only if you have the resources and only if you have the information, people will be able to sell. I
Hmm.
think like, in the Indian market, people are very hesitant to try new brands and hesitant to obviously that change has come with the boost the startup economy has seen in the past few years. But for, let's say, somebody who is 35 plus wala age bracket, it's not going to be easy for them to start something new until unless you can build that trust with them,
Right.
right? So I think the confusion comes from the fact, a, we have always believed in a different ideology कि हमारा खाना हमें सही न्यूट्रिशन देता है, विच इज ट्रू, बट हमारा लाइफस्टाइल भी चेंज हुआ है. वी नीड टू गिव इट इनफ क्रेडिट कि हम अपना लाइफस्टाइल इतना चेंज कर रहे हैं, तो वी नीड टू चेंज, not change our diet, but we need to sort of move our diet along with the changes that our lifestyle is seeing.
Right.
अब हमारे जैसे पेरेंट्स would be walking a lot more than I do, right? जब
Of
वो
course.
अपने बचपन में थे, they were walking to their school, they were walking to the work. The air they were breathing was so much fresher. The
Right.
food they were eating was so much more nutritious. For example, if we look at the dairy products that we get, milk, curd, etc.,
Right.
they are not as clean and as nutritious as our parents and our grandparents have had.
Of course. Yes.
So the major problem is that,
Hmm.
and because that is the problem, we have started sort of needing supplements.
Hmm.
अगर आप
Correct.
न्यूट्रिशियस डाइट आज भी ले सकते हो, if you have enough time, if you have enough resources, by resources I mean if you have enough money to spend on organic food, then you don't need supplements, period.
Hmm.
आपको न्यूट्रिशियस मील्स ले रहे हो आप, 3-4 मील्स में अपना प्रोटीन, कार्ब्स, फैट्स, हाइड्रेशन, ये सारी चीजें कर सकते हो, तो गुड फॉर यू,
Hmm.
दैट इज द राइट वे टू गो. But
Right.
because our lifestyles does not support that anymore, we are we are doing 9 to 5 jobs, we are at our desk, our posture is not right, we live in polluted, like, I don't know how people, Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, like, they live in AQI which is like 400, 500 plus.
Yes.
So until unless we are doing the right things for our diet, we will see changes in our body.
Hmm.
Matlab, our body needs to sustain itself, right? It
Yes.
can't keep functioning without the right fuel. So yeah.
True, true. And yeah, you're right. Like, especially like with the Delhi pollution, my even like when we're in Delhi for even for a few days, right? After 3 to 4 days, we have a 1 year old who and she starts wheezing, right? And then
Yeah.
within like a few days, right? And then we have to
Hmm.
go back to let's say, but even Bombay has now become way worse. Bombay is also now
Yeah.
way worse. So yeah, of course, what we're breathing, what we're eating, definitely affects our
Yeah.
overall diet. And um, there are products, and you said rightly that if you have the resources
Hmm.
to consume organic products, to consume better products, then you might not need supplements. um, but you think a lot of it is also just marketing, like selling the same product in a better box? Like, what do you think gets sold more in the market? Is it actually good products, or is it just good marketing?
Uh, that is a difficult question to answer because obviously it's a huge, huge, huge landscape where there are all types of brands. There are brands who are just marketing, but we also need to understand everything costs money.
Hmm. Of course.
Like, somebody who is selling you a 500 rupees collagen and somebody who is selling you a 5,000 rupees collagen, the
Right.
quality will have some difference.
But will
It
it be as
cannot.
much as like a 10x difference?
Honestly, yes, it's
Hmm.
possible.
Hmm.
Because talking from a manufacturing lens, the sourcing really matters, first of all.
Hmm.
ठीक है, if you want to source a better quality ingredient, it will cost you more.
Hmm.
अगर हम I wanna think of an example. I don't know, like every day, something every day. organic only. If we were to
Hmm.
talk about organic sugar,
Right.
uh, sugar is 30 rupees per kg also, and
Correct.
then there's organic sugar which is costing you more, let's say 300. I don't know the prices, okay, but
Mhm.
I'm just saying it could
Right.
cost 300 rupees per kg. So obviously there's going to be a difference in quality. Same stands true for supplements as well.
Hmm.
If मतलब कुछ चीजों में there might not be a huge difference, but when it comes to certain ingredients, like for example our collagen, the
Right.
collagen that we are sourcing is super expensive for us to source. So I don't know how to sell it at a cheaper price, because if I
Hmm.
am, see, I also need to make some money out on it, right?
Of course, yes.
There needs to be some margin, but I don't know how to explain it in a better way. But a good quality ingredient has a cost for me also.
Hmm.
So I can't really sell it at, like, just to give you an example, our collagen costs me more than some of the brands that are retailing it for.
Hmm.
So
Right.
there is a quality difference. Just let's talk about sugar in the products.
Hmm.
Why are people using stevia instead of monk fruit? Monk
Right.
fruit is a natural sweetener, okay?
Correct.
Stevia is also a natural sweetener. The only difference is stevia ka taste is a little powdery, or it
Yeah.
has
It has a slight minty taste, like an after.
yeah, and it's not as clean or as good quality, good product for your body, okay?
Hmm.
So why do people use stevia and not monk fruit? Is because stevia is cheaper for them.
Correct. Right.
If everyone starts using monk fruit, the cost of their product is going to go higher.
Hmm.
And I'm
Right.
talking about the cost of producing the product, so obviously they'll have to sell it at a higher price, right?
Correct.
So of course there is a quality difference, but then there are all types of brands.
Hmm.
Some brands could be actually selling you the same 100 rupees ka
Hmm.
product at a more expensive price, but
Right.
you as a customer need to be more smart and
Hmm.
see कि आपको उस पे क्या quality मिल रहा है.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
think
because I totally agree with you, and yeah, they're both sides because there's one of the very popular grocery apps. They have everything, like they have an organic version of everything and a normal version of everything, and the organic version is like maybe like sugar. If it's a 30 rupee thing, then it'll be 34 rupees for an organic one, right? I don't
hmm,
know what difference they're doing in that 4 rupees that
yeah.
that they're able to change the whole thing. But yeah, like it's true that, and you're right, like if there's something which is costing you more than the than another company's selling price, then we don't know what they're selling, right? Like what is in those ingredients. There's actually a community question regard on similar lines what we're talking about. So the question is, what are the signs your body actually needs supplements?
Very difficult question to answer again. I think I can't really answer that question because I don't have context on your body's needs.
Right.
So one thing about nutrition is there's no one size fits all.
Hmm.
E- Everyone, like, the basics would stay same, that everyone needs protein, but how much protein your body needs, that will be different for everyone. So the
Right.
signs that your body actually needs supplementation, it's gonna really depend on you. You will start seeing signs such as, are you feeling tired more than you were before? uh, it could be, are you not able to concentrate on work? So it
Hmm.
could be as, like, any changes that you start to feel in your own body. I think our body is such a anatomically fabulous thing that it will give us signs, and we just need to know how to listen to those signs. So
Hmm.
if you suddenly feel like कि hair fall ज़्यादा होने लग गया है, that could be a sign.
Right.
If you're not able to sleep in the night, that could be a sign. So you just need to listen to your body, find what is the cause of that sign. कि अगर
Hmm.
मुझे नींद नहीं आ रही, it could be because you're stressed. For
Right.
stress, what do you need to do? You
Hmm.
need सिर्फ सीधा आपको सप्लीमेंट्स पे भी नहीं जाने की जरूरत. कैन इफ यू कैन मेक अ लाइफस्टाइल चेंज, इफ
Right.
यू कैन स्टार्ट मूविंग अ लिटिल बिट मोर, मे बी अगर आप स्टेप्स नहीं कर रहे हो, जस्ट स्टार्ट मूविंग, दैट कुड ऑलरेडी हेल्प. ट्राई टू मेडिटेट. अगर नहीं कर सकते ये सारी चीजें, देन देयर आर सप्लीमेंट्स. यू कैन
Hmm.
मे बी चेक फॉर मैग्नीशियम डेफिशिएंसी. You can maybe check for, if you take a chamomile tea in the night, chamomile peppermint tea in the night, that could help with sleep. So
Hmm.
you just need to listen to your body.
Hmm. Right. Fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. So uh, let's move on. I think that answers Ankit's question really well. And listen to your body, and you and of course then there's get your blood work and get see what are the deficiencies. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
so let's talk about Akya for a moment, right? Like what do you think? You'd of course, because you have the manufacturing experience, you're building
Mm.
everything in house. Um, so a lot of brands also outsource their manufacturing, right? You understand all of it from the inside. What difference does it make for a brand to have their own manufacturing versus outsourcing it to someone?
A lot of things. So when you are doing it in house, first you can control the quality.
Right.
Second, it allows you to do a lot more back and forth, a lot more trials. Like,
Hmm.
just to coming back to Akya again. So when we launched our collagen, we literally did at least 70 to 80 iterations just on the taste. So
Wow.
we tried at least 10 different vendors when it came to flavors. We tried monk fruit का 50 mg पे कैसा लग रहा है,
Hmm.
500 mg पे कैसा टेस्ट आ रहा है, 1 gram पे कैसा टेस्ट आ रहा है. So this was only possible because I had that structure in place.
Right.
When you, I'm not saying you can't really build a brand if you are outsourcing, but it it becomes a little bit rigid,
Hmm.
right? It there's very less room to play.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Hmm.
think that, and of course the resources that I have access to, it became a lot more easier to find the right partners, right suppliers, right vendors to work with. I think obviously if you are doing it, outsourcing it, your like you have to do a lot more work in terms of finding those right people,
Right.
compared to doing it in house, because you have those experts in the
Absolutely.
facility who can guide you, who can give their inputs. But of course, it really depends on person to person if they really want to put in that much effort.
Right, right. And I was going through the Akya website. It's built on you have an AM PM philosophy, right?
Yeah,
What is that philosophy, and what what's about that philosophy that made you build the whole brand around it?
right. So again, I think coming back to what I just said to answer Ankit's question,
Right.
uh, our body is fabulous. It has its
Hmm.
it functions in a very different way. It knows what it needs in morning. It knows what it needs in the evening. So that was the exact philosophy that we had when we did our AM PM segmentation. That what our body needs in the morning is going to be different than what it needs in the evening.
Okay. Hmm.
So when we were formulating our multivitamin, we didn't want to make it. So first of all, we didn't want to launch a multivitamin.
Hmm.
We only launched it because we could not find a single formula which was a holistic supplement. So if you read the label of our multivitamin, it is not just a vitamin complex. So
Hmm.
it we have added herbs. Like I said, our philosophy was doing an intersection of herbal and bioactives, right?
Right.
So it's literally that. Like in the evening, we have added L-theanine, we have added chamomile extract, so that
Hmm.
your body, because in the evening your body needs to calm down, it needs to
Right.
relax. So PM formula has that, and then the morning one it has ashwagandha to give you that. So it keeps,
Energy. Right.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure, but we had one formulation where we added green tea extract in the morning one. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if we went with that formulation or not, but basically that was the idea. We give the body what it needs in the morning and then what it needs in the evening,
Correct.
because you need to let the body receive the nutrients based on
Mhm.
the time of the day. So yeah,
Hmm.
again for the herbal tea as well, it's so we have herbal teas as well, and it's just an AM and PM blend. It's the same philosophy that AM your body needs that detox, it needs that light energy, night light caffeine boost. So it's a green tea and lemongrass, peppermint blend. And in the evening, your body needs to unwind. It needs that stress relief. So it is like a chamomile, lavender, peppermint blend.
Hmm. Correct. Correct. Yeah, I think that makes sense because usually I'm my recently I did some blood work, and my B12 and D3 was really low. So but yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm mostly it's the same thing which I'm having, right, 2 times a day.
yeah,
But never thought about it that way, that that you can like if you're having something with chamomile in the night versus ashwagandha in the morning. There's actually
yeah.
also a community question. So this is from YouTube. I think there is. I think I also read something about some specific. I think the ashwagandha leaf has some. There's been a lot of negative press around something to do with ashwagandha. So
I am not sure about that, but again, like the quality of ashwagandha really matters. Somebody
hmm,
could be selling it at 100 rupees per 100 gram, then somebody could be selling it at 900 rupees per 100 gram. That
correct,
will make a difference.
right.
Also, I think the right quantity of it really matters. अगर
Hmm,
आपको बोला गया कि अश्वगंधा बहुत अच्छा है and you start taking more than the recommended dosage, it's only gonna fire back at you.
right.
So be very, very careful about the recommended dosage. Do
Hmm,
not exceed that, and it stands true for all the supplements. There's a reason why it's important for every brand to put that recommended dosage on the
dosage.
label.
Of
So
course.
please read that. It's very important for you to stick to that recommended dosage because anything in excess is bad.
Hmm.
So just be careful of that. But ashwagandha, I don't think it's a bad ingredient. It's
Hmm.
just you need to be cautious about how much you are taking it,
Correct.
in the right source you are taking it from,
Correct.
and why you are taking it is also
Hmm.
important.
Yeah, I think that's true, and that's also our topic for today, right? And let's discuss a bit about that. When you say that people don't need more supplements, they actually need the right supplement for them, right?
Yeah.
So what does a right supplement entail?
It really, really, really depends on each person's body's needs.
Hmm.
A
Right.
male 25-year-old would need different supplements than a female 35-year-old.
Correct.
Even a female 25-year-old and a male 25-year-old would have a different requirement. Okay. First things first, try as much as you can to eat the right foods, eat the right, stay hydrated. If you
Right.
can add movement in your day, these are literally the basics of our life's system, like our body's system. These are the basics. Then comes supplementation.
Hmm.
What it means when I say you need to find the right supplement for your body, I mean your body's requirements are different. अगर आपको प्रोटीन चाहिए तो आपको कितना प्रोटीन चाहिए मैटर्स.
Right.
आपको first try to complete that nutritional requirement with food. If you are just
Hmm.
relying on protein powders to get that protein requirement, that is also wrong. It's only going to do more harm.
Hmm.
Try
Yeah.
to at least have one natural source of protein in your diet.
Hmm. Fair.
Ag- there's also like one, so like just a general rule कि आपको कैसे calculate करना है how much protein you need. It will not be true for everyone, right? It will not be the same for everyone. So if I weigh 60 grams, I as a female need 60 gram into zero point 0.8 times my body weight.
Okay.
So 60 into zero point 0.8, I'm very bad with maths, but I need about
Right.
48 to 50
Correct.
grams of protein.
Right.
Above 50 grams, how do I achieve? If I'm only going to take two servings of 24 grams of protein powder, that's going to be wrong for me.
Hmm.
So I need to divide it. I
Hmm.
need to find natural ways to take it. And when that natural form is not enough, that is when you add supplements to it.
Right.
Then be sure कि आप उसका source पढ़ रहे हो, जो प्रोटीन खरीद रहे हो, उसका amino acid profile पढ़ रहे हो. Uh,
Hmm.
if the brand is not disclosing where they're sourcing their protein from, that is a red flag.
Red flag. Right.
So you need to see all of these
Hmm.
things. Try to see that it does not, they don't include any bulking agents, any
Hmm.
emulsifiers in it. Try to see if they're adding any natural sugar. See, sugar is not bad, but if it's synthetic sugar, that is bad.
Hmm.
So try to see that those things. And sugar also, I don't know why sugar has gotten such a bad rep. Sugar to a certain extent is okay.
Correct. Right.
When it becomes harmful is when you're taking it in everything, which has become our lives. Sugar
Hmm.
is literally coming in everything right now.
Right.
ब्रेड ले रहे हो उसके अंदर शुगर है, कोई भी डिजर्ट खा रहे हो उसमें तो मीठा है ही है. सो एक्सेस शुगर इज बैड. सो
Correct.
मेक श्योर कि आपका सोर्स ऑफ स्वीटनर इज
Hmm.
राइट इन द सप्लीमेंट्स यू आर टेकिंग.
Right.
It does not have synthetic colors in it. That's important. And yeah, I think
Hmm.
if you are able to check all of those things, then you'll find the right supplement for you.
Hmm. Correct. So just it's not just about the marketing, it's also about how there is that supplement coming from. How is that protein powder being made? That's
Exactly.
I think that's true. And thankfully, I think now people have started also looking at these things. Right, in the last few years, people have now become more aware, and they're not just buying anything off the shelf or
Yeah,
of the app, I would say. Um,
true.
so, do you think? Where do you think? Like these days, a lot of searching happens through AI, right? Where do
Hmm.
you think AI can genuinely make wellness
Hmm.
easy for people to understand?
Um, see, it's like Google को doctor मत बनाओ, right?
Correct. Yes.
So AI is there to help, but you need to be able to you need to know the right questions to ask.
Hmm.
That is
Right.
important. Not everything it will give will be right. For
Correct.
example, if you say what is the best collagen for me to buy, there are things in the back end that it needs to be able to give you the name of the brands.
Right.
Just because uh, Google said it or Claude said it or
Right.
ChatGPT said it does not make it the best product. थोड़ा सा you'll have to make an effort. It
Hmm.
gives you the source, but then check the source.
Correct.
है ना? So, but I think how you can really use AI is what AI does really good is it can scan and search a huge library of things
Hmm.
and then give you the information.
Right.
So, for example, if I want to know ki, is collagen right for me, I first need to give it the right input.
Hmm.
Ki this is my age, this is where I live, this is what I eat, and this is the goal that I want to achieve with collagen. Do you
Right.
think collagen is the right supplement for me?
Hmm.
That is when you might get the right answer.
Hmm.
But if you're only gonna ask it, should I consume collagen, then it's gonna give you a superficial answer, right?
Right.
It won't give you the best output that you need for
Correct.
the information that you are asking it for. So you have to be smart about using AI. Just like how you need to be smart about using Google as well. You need to know
Right.
the right questions to ask.
Right, right, true. But yeah, but unfortunately, like Google, still people in the last last couple of years now, they've learned how to use it, and they're good at it. But
Yeah.
you're right, like with AI, you just feel that okay, through a question you get an answer, and you feel that it's the right answer. So,
Yeah.
is there some AI in wellness idea which you are excited about, that okay, this is going to happen in the next few years and this sounds really exciting, or maybe there's some idea which you feel people are excited about and you feel it's some hype.
I think I'm not sure, but I think there are these watches and rings that you can wear where it
Right,
tracks your everyday lifestyle, it's tracking your sleep, it's tracking your heart
right.
rate. If they can sort of club it with AI, and that could give you the changes that you might need to do, or it can
Hmm.
give you recommendations and advices on how to make your lifestyle better. That could be really cool,
Hmm.
because it's like you have your own personal nutritionist, dietitian, not nutritionist, but like you have a personal trainer with you on the
Right,
go,
right.
right? Somebody who can sort of tell you that okay, this is right, this is, you are doing enough movement, you need to add more movement, you need to add more protein, you need to
Right.
hydrate more. So if those things could come from somebody who is with you the entire time, I think that could be really cool, and
Hmm.
I think AI has the ability to sort of do
Hmm.
it.
Do that.
But I'm not sure if I've really come across something happening in wellness
Hmm.
space with AI. I don't know. You tell me. Like, you tell me if you have come across something.
I think yeah, we're still away from that because there's some it's the risk is more than the reward right now. What if it
Hmm.
hallucinates and someone starts having something which they're not supposed to? What do you do about that, right? So
Right.
we still need good guardrails before AI can start suggesting people. Before we can have a very specific use case based AI, right, which can suggest, as you said, like something like a
Hmm.
Fitbit, which can have an AI which can suggest, okay, these are the changes you can make. But then they need to be very well thought of, right? They cannot be, it
Yeah.
cannot hallucinate. You don't have the margin of error in that space, at least, right? With
Yeah.
social
Yeah.
media,
Absolutely.
if it goes wrong with the piece of content, it's fine, but it cannot go wrong with health. So I
Health.
think that's
Yeah.
still what's stopping anything to do with like any
Hmm.
major leap to happen. It would happen, I think, as you said, these trackers might start the other day, not the other day, but in the last few days. um, I've started, clicking a picture of whatever I'm eating and sending it to Gemini, and then it suggests, okay, this is the profile. This is what these much you've consumed so many carbs for the day. Now it's enough. Don't don't eat more.
No,
And the
I
other
do
day,
that as well.
you do that,
I
yeah,
do that as, yeah, like I do it with the food that okay, this is what I'm eating. Can you tell me
right,
approximate amount of protein it has, etc., etc. And
right,
then more often than not, I even ask it for recipes that okay, I
hmm,
have this on hand. I want
correct,
to make it a healthy meal. Can you
right,
give me a quick recipe? And
hmm.
it does such an amazing
It
job.
does a very good job, yes.
And then obviously like it's a customized recipe because it's based on the ingredients that I have on hand,
Right,
so it's
right.
very very helpful in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, those smaller use cases it can achieve, but
Yeah.
yeah, going all the way to suggest changes and something very specific, I think it's still going to take a while.
Yeah.
In your case, what do you
True.
think? Like, for Akya, what is the biggest problem you feel that okay, if AI could automate that, then I would be so much. I would have so much more time in my life.
So actually, we use AI when we are doing our formulations as well.
Oh wow,
Like
amazing.
we sort of try to look for alternate ingredients.
Hmm.
We try to find the right clinical research that we need on
Right.
AI. So before, first we look for a formulation that first we look for a problem statement that we want to
Mm-hmm.
build a solution for.
Right.
Then we sort of look for what are the existing products,
Mm.
existing brands, what are they selling in India
Selling.
or even in the Western markets, what's working, what's not working.
Right.
Then we give all of that input. I give all of that input to Claude or ChatGPT
Right.
and ask for inferences of what could work better in the Indian market.
Mm-hmm.
Because, see, one more thing that we really need to be careful about is everything that works in West will not be relevant for us.
True.
Everything that's working in another country is not going to work for us because our
Correct.
genetics are different, our
Yes.
life, our surroundings are different,
Yes.
our food ka consumption is different.
Hmm.
So just because it works in another market does not mean it's right for us.
True.
So we need to be very, very careful ki what we are consuming, is it even right for our needs?
Hmm.
So
Right.
that is what I try to use ChatGPT and Claude for, ki,
Hmm.
to sort of because while we can do all of this research ourselves, it's going to take us months to sort of map all of this information, right?
True.
And
Yes.
it's such a great tool to do all of this research work for, that why not use it?
Yes. Of
But
course.
we also need to make sure that we verify it as humans, because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it is a computer
Yes.
machine. It might make mistakes.
Hmm.
So we need to be sure that we are, whatever it's saying, we are cross checking that.
Hmm.
And that is when we go to our experts, we ask them, okay, this is the, so
This is
this
what
is the
happened.
yeah,
Then yeah.
this is the formulation that we have received, and this is what we might need to reduce or increase in the formulation.
Right.
And then we do a trial for it, we test it amongst ourselves. So all the products that we have launched have
Hmm.
already been tried by at least one of my close friends, family members, or myself.
Right.
So
First, you have your own trial, own trial team, and then first you try on.
yeah. So
Fair.
we, like I said, we did like at least 70 to 80 iterations on our
Hmm.
collagen. So all of those were tried by us first
Correct. Right.
before it came to the
To
market.
the market.
So yeah, like everything really needs to be
Hmm.
relevant. And I think AI really does the job of searching and scanning through hundreds
Right.
of documents and
Hmm.
giving you the summary or the output that you
Hmm.
need. But obviously, there are a lot of other ways to be able to use it. I think finding the right suppliers, we're still trying to use it for that. But more
Right.
often than not, the output we have received has been wrong.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem which we also face, right? Like hallucination is
Right.
and it feels
And
so right until you actually try to use that data, right? You just feel that okay, you've discovered everything, and then finally when you call the person, you figure out okay, this is like completely wrong.
wrong.
Right.
Exactly. And you know, something that I noticed was with ChatGPT specifically, that it will always agree with you.
Correct.
Like, wha- obviously, you ask, you give it input and everything, and
Hmm.
then it gives you an answer. But
Hmm.
then, if you put an add on question to it, for example, is chamomile the right tea to have in the night?
Hmm.
Okay, that is my question.
Right.
उसने आंसर दिया कि yes, chamomile is right.
Hmm.
But if I ask it, but should I have chamomile or peppermint?
Hmm.
It'll be like, see, like it's very diplomatic in nature.
Right. Right.
See,
Right.
chamomile will give you this, and peppermint will give you this. So
Right.
you need to decide based on what you need.
Right. Right.
And
Correct.
then if I introduce a third element and be like, but I feel like I should have peppermint, that's a good choice
Yeah.
because of these things.
Because of these
So,
reasons. Right.
like
Hmm.
you have to act as a human and have to be able to make that difference. In it's a great tool to do research for you, but
Hmm.
then you are the one who needs to evaluate the answer.
Absolutely correct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think AI is a great tool. It just needs
Yes.
a lot more. It needs to be evaluated a lot better.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think in time we will reach there. But yeah, thank you so much, Akshita, for your time. With it has been a very useful conversation. I hope to our viewers as well that that wellness feels slightly a little less noisy. They know
I
how to
hope
navigate
I
around.
haven't complicated it more than before. I hope.
No, no, I'm sure you've not. You've been very clear and very honest, and very very real. That's exactly what we strive for in my live streams. Being as real as possible. So real that my wife was asking me to fix my hair before the podcast. I was like, it's okay. We need to be natural. So, but yeah, but thank you so much for doing this. It has been a lovely time. And for all our viewers, that was Akshita Singla. She's the founder of Akya Wellness. Do check their website out. It's akyawellness.com. And of course, if you're viewing this on any social media, they'll be tagged below as well. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone whose supplement shelf needs a reset. And I was Rachit Magan, your host, and this was Janet. See you next one. Thank you. Thank you, Akshita, once
Thank you so much, Rachit. It was wonderful to connect with you
again.
today.